Yo, what's up guys? Mike Red Fox. A little bit of a different one today. I'm just going to be working on this rig and I might not even edit this. I don't know how long it's going to be. We're just going to hang out. I'm going to talk about whatever I'm thinking about. So let's get started. Plans. So this is the bones of a rig that I had out in the garage that has been offline for a while. I had some 3080s on it. There was just two left. I have more somewhere. I think one moved over to the test rig that has one of every 30 series card I have on there. One is loaned out to a friend right now. And I think another is back here on the repair pile that was giving me issues. So let me just move these back here for now. And what I was thinking is putting 6 3060 Ti's on this and getting it all up and mining. And so I had 3060 Ti's in a mix with some 3070s, but just in the last few months or so, just moved some rigs around, got some things online, other things remained offline. But with some recent profitability in the last few weeks, which right now, as of today, has definitely come down a lot, I wanted to get at least my most efficient cards up and running. I think some cool things coming down the road, mining-wise, and I just want to be ready for all of that. So starting with the most efficient cards, which of all the ones I have, 3070s, which all of them are up in mining, and then 3060 Ti's are the next ones for at least some of the cryptos that I'm interested in mining right now, which is all the real core intense ones. So that's what I'm going to do, and this is a little sentimental to me, because these were some of the first cards that I got once I started mining. Well, not once I started mining, but at least when mining got really crazy and when I started this YouTube channel. In fact, one of these Gigabyte Eagles, I'll tell you which one in a second, was my first one. Yeah, this one, regular Gigabyte Eagle. This is an OC edition. This is one of the first videos I ever made on YouTube, was showing the performance of this card on Ethereum. And it was the first 30 series card that I bought for mining. Up until then, I had 20 series, 16 series, 10 series, but this is the one that really started things getting crazy for me. So, great card. I'm looking at the condition. I mean, it's been mining since it came out, since it was released. It's in pretty good shape. If you guys want to take a look right there. There it is, Gigabyte Eagle. Just a little bit of stuff accumulating by the PCIe connector. But otherwise, good. I was wondering if I should clean these, but I really don't think I'm going to have to. They look pretty good. There's the cooler looks nice and clear. So we're just going to go. Before that, I guess I should talk about what's on this frame. Kind of like my classic setup before I got into server cases and all of that, which honestly, server cases were like the big hype this last bull run in mining between myself, all these other crypto YouTubers, and for sure amongst the community. Maybe because of our influence, I don't know, maybe. But I still come to really enjoy just the open air frames. And they're just, like the server cases suck in so much dust or pollen or debris from wherever you have them set up that those cards get really dirty really fast. They keep really cool. But I don't think that's really an issue with a lot of the algorithms that are being mined right now, which are so core intense. You really don't use any memory. You downclock the memory so much that there's not much heat generated. So I'm kind of back to the open air frame, and I really enjoy it. So this is just your classic Veta style frame, which is just tried and true. I think some of the newer frames are a little more compact, which are nice, but this is kind of like the tried and true frame for me. I got quite a bit of them. And on here, I got classic ASRock H110 Pro BTC Plus mining motherboard. Has 13 PCIe slots, so you can run up to 13 GPUs on there. Just Intel Celeron, probably G3930 or G4440 or something like that on there. Just real basic, 4 gigs. It's probably a 4 gig stick of DDR3 Kingston RAM. I'll leave links to all this. It's probably already in the description below if you need to pick any of this stuff up. SSD for Hive OS, which I already have installed on here, should be installed on there, we'll see. And then to start, I have a EVGA 1000 watt G Plus which is one of my favorite ATX power supplies because it has 6 PCIe coming off of it. I'll have to add an additional power supply for sure. Probably server power supply on here. Might be a little overkill. I can probably run a lower ATX, but I just want to get stuff up and running, and then I can come back, and if I need to switch parts out or tweak things, I can do that. But I think for me, I just want to get stuff up and running right now. Let's test this overhead camera there. You can see this setup I was talking about here. Really basic. You don't need to go crazy with this stuff. I've always run 4 gigs of RAM, like just since I started mining 5 years ago. I've never had a problem. And then always run these cheap processors. And stuff is available right now. If and when we get into crazy times in mining again, this stuff gets really hard to find and very expensive. So good to just take hold of what you have on hand and see what you might need. That's where I'm at, ordering fans, power supplies, just anything that I might need, because prices are pretty good right now. So anyway, let's get started here. This is going to be the first one I'm going to slot up, and got my riser ready to go. GPU risers.com riser. All the pads have fallen off the bottom. These are like the earlier ones, but they still work just fine. So we'll get that in here, and then I'm going to get a splitter going, because if I remember, these, at least full tilt, which I won't be running them at, these 3060 Ti's I think are 220 watts, maybe less, I can't remember. But I remember they got one single 8-pin on the top. So I'm going to run that right back to the power supply. We'll get this slotted up here. Let's run these cables down beneath. If you need any help with determining how to power your risers and how to do it all safely, I'll leave a link up in the card to one of my early videos doing that, which is still valid information. These are all stripped out. All these screws on here. So yeah, a little sentimental. This is the first 30 series card I bought when it launched from Newegg. And who would have thought that mining was going to get absolutely as crazy profitable as it did? So you can see single 8-pin up top. So I'm going to run that probably just right back to this ATX power supply. Got that in there. Because those can pull up to 150 watts each, those 8 pins on there, I'm not going to split that between the two GPUs. I'm going to run it on its dedicated line, because the PCIe cables cannot handle that. If it ran 150 plus 150, 300 watts, no good. So I am going to split the riser though, because the riser is a 6-pin, and so the PCIe on the bottom would only pull 75 watts, so that's safe. That's 150 watts between two risers at max, which is going to be totally fine. Cool. Second riser in here. And this is the same card, but it's the OC edition. So it looks identical, but I guess they overclocked the GPU in there already. It doesn't make a difference for us mining-wise. One of the questions we get asked a lot is like, does it make a difference if it's the OC edition or anything? It just doesn't. Things that make a difference are the cooler, how cool the card is going to run. Based on your situation, that might be something that's important to look at. So like these are the just bottom tier gigabyte cards. I got another example coming up, but these are just like the bottom tier ones. But they, honestly, man, they run great, and I like the look of them. Gigabyte doesn't have such a good reputation, especially when you get to the GDR6X cards. I don't know how they're doing with the 4000 series. I'm so out of the loop on that stuff. Okay. All right, so we'll get this other one. It's again, single 8-pin, hooked up to the ATX power supply. Cool. And then I'm going to run, there is, see it, the bottom there. So that's the splitter to deepen the mines, PCIe splitter, really good quality. And I'm just gonna run that. It's a single 6-pin back to the ATX power supply. All right, what I'm gonna do now is just pause. Well, before that, I gotta get these plugged into the motherboard. So let's do that. So one of the things about me is I have fried at least 2 of the full PCIe slots on these motherboards, and I don't know which one, and I keep meaning to like mark them so I know. So now I just avoid that slot at all costs because it's burned me in the past where I've been like troubleshooting a rig like crazy to forget that I totally burnt out that full slot by plugging in the 1x backwards. So I got like 2 motherboards amongst all of them floating around that doesn't work, and it's made me burn like 2 hours of troubleshooting in the past because I forgot, and the GPU's not recognized as the riser, drivers, all this stuff. So not making that mistake, I just avoid the full slot at all costs, which is fine because this is 6 cards on here. So we got those plugged in, so I'm just gonna do a quick power on. Make sure they light up. Cool, yep. Cards are lit up, riser's got the correct lights on them. CPU fan is spinning, looking good, means that this is working. You see GPU's right there. All right, I'm gonna shut that down and we'll keep going. We'll get some more cards on here. So looking at that, we'll just say, should probably look up how much wattage these pull. I think it's 220. I think it is. Somebody right now is watching this just screaming at me because they know the right answer and they're wondering why I'm not taking the time to look it up. So I just don't feel like it. So we got these. So just say 220. So that's 440 watts plus maybe 50 watts for the motherboard and CPU and all that stuff. So I'm just thinking about balancing out this 1,000-watt power supply. So, and then having to get the server power supply up on here. So I could put another card on there for sure. So let's do that. What should we do next? So we got quite a selection here. This one's pretty dirty. I like to put the cards that have the beefier coolers in the middle. So they might run a little hotter with the heat radiating off the cards next to them. So I think I will do actually this Gigabyte Aorus card, which is a dual 8-pin card. This is a crazy card. Man, Mike, you never took the plastic off the fans, dude. What are you doing? I wonder what this card wasn't hashing right. Jeez. Amateur. So if you want to take a look at that card, beautiful. It's got like a really unique fan setup. Fan's offset. And then this one, it's a little dirty, but it has that crazy LED screen right on the top there. It's got some pollen and stuff on it. And I remember when I got this, I was just felt so guilty because I just got it for mining. And it's definitely got all these extra bells and whistles for gamers. And I felt a little bad about that one. Ooh, this riser's got like some rust on it. Should I use this? Yep. It's not the best. It's not in the best shape. But I'm running low on risers. Okay, so we'll get this slotted up. God, this card is just absolutely massive compared to the other ones. If you guys want to take a look. Look at the size of it compared to those other ones. Jeez. All right, so let's get this into this frame. This is the pain about these Veta frames. Number one, you have to use this Allen key for everything. And number two, shout out to you if you've stripped the holes on these frames. And it just makes it a little bit of a nightmare versus some of the other frames are just like standard Phillips screwdriver. All right, so this has 2 8-pins up there. So I'm gonna do this. I don't know if you should, but this card should not pull that amount of wattage over there. I'm gonna split it. these are not the best. These are a single strand coming off the power supply that splits into 2 8-pins. Not recommended, but I'm gonna run these cards really low power with what I'm mining, and also the TDP of this card should not allow it to pull 300 watts over this between the riser combined with these 8-pins. So this is how I've been running it, even when I was mining ETH, and it's doing fine. So it's gonna keep doing fine. But that's me, been doing this a while. Recommendation to use single strand coming off power supply for each 8-pin. Especially if you're new to this or not sure how much it's gonna pull or the TDPs of the cards, etc. So what I need is, I'm gonna do one more strand off this server power, off this ATX power supply to the riser. So let me see what I got around here. Here's one. What else do I got? These are all splitters. All right, we're gonna use this. The other thing that is really recommended that has been an absolute lifesaver for me over the years is making sure for your ATX power supplies, if you are using them, just get the same ones, or at least get the same family, so that you can use the same PCIe cables and all the other cables that come off there, because they're not mix and match across brands. Guess how I know that? Live and learn. That's how I fried a 1070 Ti, a hard drive, and a power supply all in one shot. I was mining, but it was actually going in a gaming PC. It's that one you can barely see right there. RMA'd everything, but I was like, what did I do wrong here? Because I just replaced the power supply. There was a coarse hair in it, and I put an EVGA to replace, and I didn't take out any of the cables because it was all cable tied, and then just boom, fried all that shit. Ooh, can I curse? I don't know if I can curse on YouTube. Yeah, fried all that. And then I took to the internet and learned an important lesson that day. So even EVGA across different EVGA power supplies, you can't use the same cables. They have like a chart on their website that tells you what's good and what's not. But yeah, PSA on that one. Okay, we'll get this one plugged into the motherboard. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think now I'm gonna incorporate the server power supply into this build, which gives me 3 cards left. So let's see, I got, let's see, I'm gonna kind of go looking around here. Wasn't fully prepared for this video. Oh, here's one. All right, so this is a 1200 watt. It's probably overkill. So it'll be 220, 220, so it's 660. I might just get a 750 watt that I have. So I'll be right back. I think I have it over here. Oh. Yeah, these are from, let me see what this is. 750. I don't know if this is platinum. If the sticker tells you. If you know, let me know down in the comments below if you're still hanging out with me. This is a 750 watt. I have a bunch of these because Octominer sent me, actually this one you can see. Let's see if it works. It's dented on the bottom. It's right by that fan on the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, but Octominer sent me an Octominer, which comes with like a bunch of these, and it was so damaged that they wound up just sending me a different one. It was so damaged in shipping, and I was able to just, I'm like kind of salvaging parts here and there, and this came out of it. So let's see if it works, because all I need is 750 watts. And I just ordered a bunch of these because I am surprisingly have burned through quite a few of these guys as of late, breakout boards. So I just ordered a bunch that somebody sent me really cheap. Hopefully they work really well. So we'll set this up here. I guess that's the only thing with these frames is that there's no great place for the server power supply. They're very much built for ATX power supplies, but it is what it is. Okay, next up, probably best performing card and beautiful cooler is going to be this 3060 Ti EVGA. Rest in peace, EVGA. Not making GPUs anymore. Cool, so we got that. Need another riser for it. We got to go look at some scraps over here. Card's looking nice and clean too. These are some of my earliest cards. This is before LHR and all that stuff. All that nonsense. Remember that nonsense? Jeez. Man. I remember when NVIDIA announced that, I was like, no, you gotta be kidding me with this. I feel like that's gonna be in the history books one day. Okay, so let me get... So with this one, it has dual 8-pin on the top. So what I'm gonna do, let's see, is what I like to do on these cards, actually I might go back and do it on this Gigabyte Aorus, is I like to put one strand that gets split between the 8-pin on top and the 6-pin on the bottom, because again, 150 plus 75, it will never pull more than that, which is totally safe for the cable. So I like to just split that, which is what I'm gonna do. And so I'm just gonna use one of these Deep in the Mind splitters I've been using for a long time. I really like these. They've literally never failed me. So I'm just gonna split from the server power supply in that. And I'll put it into one of the 8 pins on top. And then the other end of the splitter is gonna go into the riser on the bottom. Pro tip, plug into the riser before you put it on the GPU. So that's gonna go into the riser on the bottom. And then I'll just need another strand that goes from the actual GPU itself into the server power supply. Cool. And this is like the classic way that I wire up any of these dual 8-pin cards. And it's 100% safe. One of the things I find if you're moving around a lot, and I think this is maybe why I burned up some of the breakout boards in the past, is just I just give these a tug just to make sure the pins are set back all the way inside the connector. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I wonder if, I think loose pins have caused some of the burn ups that I've had in the past. Oh, you know what's gonna bug me? This is one of these things. So one side of the cable has the extra little part to make it an 8-pin. That part cannot be going into the breakout board or else it drives me nuts. Breakout board just gotta be the one that is just 6-pin. Personal problems, I know. All right, so we got that. Plug in PCIe to the motherboard. Cool. Now, what am I gonna do with this? I'm just gonna do nothing. I'm gonna leave that Aorus the way it is. It's gonna be fine. All right, next up, another Gigabyte card. I realize I have 4 Gigabyte cards on here. This is 3060 Ti Gaming. Little dirtier than the other ones, but still looking good. Good shape. So I take a look. There it is. We're going to slot that up next. Put that right there. Single 8-pin on the top of this one. So I actually, we'll see. We'll see what I'm going to do here. Thinking about how I'm going to power that one. I feel like I'm powering them all a little bit differently. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to split between the single 8-pin on the top and the riser on the bottom. So we'll only need one strand that goes back to the server power supply. So let's get this one up in here. Man, it feels good. I know we're not building like from scratch, which is actually nice, but it feels good to build a rig again. Been a while. You know what I'm glad I'm not doing? Put together these Veta frames, because that's a nightmare. It's like a half hour of your life putting together these frames. Glad I'm not doing that. All right, so we got another splitter here. Again, if you need parts or any of this stuff, if you like something I'm using, hit up the link in the description. A lot of them are affiliate links, so I get money if you spend money, and that's good for everybody. All right. So 8-pin in the top. And then we're going to put the 6-pin into the riser. One of the things as you're doing this, be mindful of is that none of your cables are going to be hitting any other fans. So I like to tuck them around back of the card. Or else you're going to get greeted with some buzzing when you turn it on and potentially damage a fan, which you definitely don't want. Cool. All right, so that's that card. And then lastly is a Founders Edition, which still has some burnt up chunks on it from the rig above it that caught on fire. Video in the card if you want to check that out. Man, these cards are tanks. Just gorgeous. These are just gorgeous cards. Look at that. So pretty. I like putting these on the end because they have like the weird airflow situation. Need another riser. Luckily there's one on the floor over here. Okay, that. And then these have that weird like 12-pin thing on the top. So you gotta use this silly little adapter. Ooh. Got that on there. And what else? Need a splitter. So got one here. In this case, this is a GPUrisers.com splitter. I like them. They're just not as flexible because they are sleeved as the Deep in the Mines one, but I guess potentially a little more durable. Yeah. Oops. Cool. So this one will go on the end there. I remember getting this card. I was pumped. I think it was my first, maybe first. I don't remember. Maybe my first Founders Edition card. I have a Founders Edition 3060 Ti, a couple 3070s, 3090. I think that's it. I think that's all my Founders. Okay, so we're gonna get splitter plugged in here to the adapter cable. And then we're gonna get that plugged into the server power supply. And this is the last card getting powered up. Cool. And then let me get this plugged into the motherboard, the PCIe connection. It's kind of nice to do a 6-card rig like this. I've done a lot of 8-card rigs. I have a bunch of 12-card rigs on open air frames. It's just nice to do a 6-card where you got some space to work and you don't have, I think my test rig has an ATX power supply and then 4 server power supplies. There's this ridiculous amount of cables everywhere. Put this one right in next to it. There is a order to these PCIe slots. You can find the images online so you know what's going to come up in the software, but these are all the same cards, so it really doesn't bother me. They're going to get the same overclocks. Okay, and I think I got everything. Let me just get power for that server power supply. We'll test that it works and all the GPUs are recognized, and then do a little bit of cable management on it. And this is just, for now, just going into the meter over here, which is just 110. And then eventually I'll just move it into the garage onto 240 on 30 amps. Oh, Mike, what are we doing here? But this is a dedicated circuit that this is running on right now. The amount of electrical that I've run in my house for this stuff is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I got 3 30 amp circuits down here. I got 3 in the garage. I got dedicated 20 amps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 200 amp electrical panel. I think we're good. Why don't we take a look from the top so you can see all the cards there. Looking good. I think we're just ready to fire this thing up and see what we get. So let me turn on server power supply first. So you can see the 3 cards that we have powered there, all turned on. You can see the risers illuminated. That looks cool on camera. And now I'm going to turn on the ATX power supply for the rest. Looking good, looking good. Got the little screen lit up on this one. See everything powered up there. So let me turn off, say bye, 6700 XT for now. And switch the test bench back over to Windows so we can get in there, get into Hive, and make sure all these are recognized. So we'll let that power up. We'll clean up a little bit. And once I know they're all recognized, we're going to do some cable management, get this thing mining, and that's pretty much a wrap on this one. All right, Windows is booting up here. Let's see. Move this up a little bit. God, I love mining. It's just like the best. Oh. Unplug these. I wasn't sure if I was going to film this. It's like, I don't really have anything to talk about. I feel like lately it's just got like, my videos are like, I gotta have something to talk about. I kind of miss some of the old days where I just turned the camera on because I was doing stuff anyway. So if you guys enjoy this, just let me know. Less pressure on me. Especially if I don't have to edit anything. I don't know if YouTube's gonna like however long this video is though. All right, let me get Hive up and then we'll switch over so you guys can see what I'm doing. Then I think about doing this stuff as live streams too, but I can never focus on live streams. I just start talking to all of you. Forget what the heck I was doing, and it just takes forever to do anything. Two-factor. All right, let's see. This is all unscripted, so let's see what we got here. This is the rig. It is not online. So that's cool. Why isn't it working? Let's check Ethernet's plugged in. Yep. That looks good. Make sure my hard drive didn't get unplugged. I have 2 drives in here. Looks like it's on. Let's give it a reboot. See what happens. If it doesn't come up in a few minutes, I'll switch over to the output on this rig so we can see what's happening on the screen. But otherwise, I'm just going to give it a second here to see maybe the drive wasn't plugged in all the way. So everything looks good. Everything's powered on. Just Hive OS isn't picking it up right away. Plans for this, I'm probably just going to throw it on Radiant on Zergpool. And if you're not familiar with Zergpool, it allows you to mine another cryptocurrency and then auto-convert it to whatever cryptocurrency you want. And this, I'm just going to have auto-convert into Bitcoin because I want some more Bitcoin. So that's the plan for now. Just get it up and going, and I'll reassess later. Come on, Hive. What is going on with this rig? Still says offline. I have to switch over so we can see what's happening here. Yeah. All right, let's do it. So, not really sure why it's not working. So what I'm going to do is just switch the video output so we can see what is being output from the rig itself. So I just got to switch over HDMI here. And we'll take a look together. Give this a reboot. And I'm going to switch over. Actually, you know what? You guys can't see what's going on because I have it all wired up differently. So I'm going to see what's going on the screen. I'm going to report back to you. Let's see what we get. So far, nothing. No video out. It's probably trying to output from one of these GPUs for some reason. I don't know why it would do that instead of a native video out on here. Let's see. So I did have it when I powered it up before. Gave me some of the stuff knowing that it was booting into Hive OS. So I don't know what could have changed. I'm not even getting lights on the keyboard. You know that? Might have to do some troubleshooting on this one. It's just like not fully booting. So let's do this. I'm going to take it down to just 3 cards and see if that changes things. Maybe we got a bum riser in here. Let's see if that makes a difference. Nada, nothing. All right, we're gonna go no cards. Got nothing plugged into PCIe. Still getting nothing on the screen, which is very odd. It's like that hard drive isn't recognized at all, maybe. Even though I should be getting BIOS, though. Everything's looking good, dudes. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Got Hive on the screen now. Let's try putting some GPUs back in. I'm going to do first 3. Cool. Looking good. Oh, man. All right, let's do the next 3. All right, so it's all 6 GPUs. Come on, give me something. Yeah, we're good. I don't know. I pushed down the RAM and I pushed down the CPU connector a little bit more. Maybe they were just got a little loose as I was building this. Just gonna make sure this boots into Hive on here, and then we will switch over to Hive OS, take a look at it. Looking good. I think we're gonna be okay. Let me switch over the HDMI back so we can get into Windows on the test bench and take a look at what's going on in Hive OS with this rig. Get it up and mining. Okay, so we're back here. And let me switch back over keyboard and mouse. It's gotta be a more efficient way to do this, Mike. Cool. All right. Please work. Cool. Ooh, there's a 3070 in here? Oh. I don't like that. How did that sneak in? 3070 snuck in there? That's a surprise. Which one is a 3070? Is it this gigabyte? Oh. Is it this EVGA? Wait, it says it. No, it's a gigabyte. Which gigabyte is it there? It's not these for sure. It's got to be this one. It says 3060 though. I'm almost positive this is it's a 300 watt, not NVIDIA, not, is it the Aorus? I'm gonna find out. You know how you do this? Check this out. I'm gonna turn the auto fan off, and I'm just gonna ramp the fans on this card. And we're gonna identify what card that is. Let's see, auto fan. Come on. Nothing yet. This one in the end. It says 3060 Ti on it. That's so weird. That's so weird. I know this is a 3060 Ti. Fans stopped. Fans are at 0. Video settings apply with errors. Let me reboot this. It's got to be this. It's got to be this gigabyte. So I have another 3060 Ti for sure back here. Probably have a couple. But I think it's this one that I have to clean because it had the fire. Yeah, this is a 3060 Ti Gigabyte Vision, but in case you haven't seen that, that's all supposed to be white. Even on the end there. It works, I just gotta clean it. And, oh, there's gonna be a 3060 Ti rig. See what happens. I'm waiting for these fans. It says the fan's at 99%, and another one's spinning, so it's one of these two. That says N306T. That says N036T. It's got to be this. I just can't see it. It's got to be this Aorus card. I thought it was a, you know what? I have two of these. I bet you the other one's on the test rig. And that's a 3060 Ti, and this is the 3070. That's what it is. Figured it out. God. All right, well, it doesn't matter for right now. Let's see how this thing's doing. I just have it up and running right now on the last flight sheet I was using, which is Zergpool Radiant. So let's check that out. Then I will have to get another 3060 Ti, probably clean that last card because the overclocks are a little different. Oh, man. Let's see. You know what I have to do? The latest BZ miner is not fun. So I have to put the OC core lock in the batch file, or it just does not like using the one in the overclocks here. So let me just adjust that. And I know it's different for the 3070, but I'm just going to roll with it for this video. Actually, how many flight sheets, how many rigs are using this? All right, 16 series are on that. Because 16 series, I don't think you can do the core offset nonsense to reduce the wattage. I haven't looked into that though. If you let me know, let me know in the comment section. But otherwise, we're just going to do core lock 1500, which is what I run the 3060 Ti's at. And then we're going to reboot this, and then hopefully this thing starts mining and we can wrap this video up. And then I'll have to find another 3060 Ti, which there's that one. Probably another one over here somewhere. And then I have the one in the test rig. I have one to fill this up because I know I had 7 3060 Ti's, maybe 8. I think I have an LHR one somewhere. Not that it matters anymore. Okay, let's see. Rebooting. All right, let's see if we get those errors anymore. I'm using an old BZ miner because the latest one just was not working out for me. All right, we'll watch this load up here. So you can see it's doing its thing, has locked the core at 15, locked the memory at 810 because this algorithm just doesn't need any memory at all. And then it's offset the core all up to 400, which reduces the wattage that these are pulling drastically. So right now we're pulling 426 watts in total at the wall. Let's go back in Hive, check it out. It's still ramping up. We should get on these, let's see, look at my hash rate calculator here. So we are on Radiant, which I've tested extensively, and a 3060 Ti should get us 602 mega hash for around 55 watts. So let's see if that's what we get, and then we'll know we are successful. Probably needs another refresh here in the miner for it to pick up in Hive. But you can see this BZ miner, if I have the core lock in Hive, it crashes. But if I put it inside of the miner's configuration, it works just fine. All right, cool. So 600 mega hash is reported there, between 55 to 62 watts. Oh, you can see that 3070 is the OS master. Says it right there. Knew it. Knew it. Why did I doubt myself? So 600, that's what I said, right? Yep, about 600. So I'm going to let that mine over to Zergpool and stack some more BTC for now. And then I'll probably make some adjustments in the future depending on what I want to do. One last look at this rig from the top. Looking really good. Feels good building a rig again, even if it wasn't from complete scratch. Hope you guys enjoyed just hanging out with me in this video. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, leave them down in the comment section below and I will definitely take my time to answer them. Hope you enjoyed the long format, like unedited style. And that was it. That's it. Hit the like button if you did enjoy the video. Join my Discord if you want to chat. Sub to the channel for more of this kind of content. Links to everything that I talk about and using this are down in the description below. If you are looking to get some stuff, it supports me, it supports the channel, so I appreciate using my links. That's it. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other. See ya in the next video.